all of a sudden we're doing our work in our pajamas, we're having a glass of wine or a beer, we're calling it fun work. And that's a complete denial of what it actually is, which is still working in the evening. When you also look at AI is supposed to save us time. It's supposed to make us more efficient. But what I'm seeing in conversations and in the research and data, it's actually increasing our workload. People have shared with me that they don't want to put their hand up because they finish early, because it just means that they're going to have more work added to their day. So that promise of AI is not being delivered.
I do not believe that productivity is the enemy. I think the desire to do meaningful work, to contribute, to create value are deeply human drives and bring us a sense of satisfaction and joy when we're engaged in them. However, the way we measure productivity is deeply problematic, and that is giving rise to many of the problems that Jennifer describes. So our measures of productivity today they emphasize effort over results. If you look deeply at many of the studies of productivity, you will find that the measures are how many hours worked, or how many emails sent, or how many keystrokes made, which is not at all a measure of accomplishment or meaningful work.
I think the issue is that we have to look at the history and the ideology that is embedded in productivity as a get-go. So the way that we talk about productivity, especially in a corporate setting, historically owes its origins to assembly line workers in factories where people were completing standardized tasks on a regular basis. And so it was a performance metric about how much you got done, but the underlying ideology was of nonstop output. And as Jennifer mentioned, people's work have expanded to the point that now it is almost impossible to keep up. So the system no longer reflects the reality of the amount of work that people have to do.
And I can tell you there are countless people and also many, many teams and even a few organizations who have implemented these best practices, and they would say, we are not a toxic culture. They say, we're having fun. Things are cool. So, I think Rahaf mentioned a few of those aspects, that if you can change the mental set of the people leading this, that those principles can then come into play. And so I think Amy and I both have the point of view is, look, there are practices that you could do. They're not hard, but they're not simple. And these practices require a change in thinking, a change in practices in terms of how teams operate together and how people operate together.